Hey, Steve Mignonte here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with their totally restyled 1968 Pontiac GTO. You might remember 1964 through 67 was a more angular looking vehicle. Well, for 68, GM stylists reimagined the GTO as sort of the Coke bottle form, if you will. Rounded sides, a fuselage look, and all new in many ways. All kinds of things debuted in 1968, including hideaway headlights, or hideaway wipers right here. You can see that the back of the hood covers the wiper assemblies. Were in 67. They were actually exposed on the top of the event. And of course, new for 1968 was the urethane covered front fascia right here. This is about an 1/8 inch, well, 1/16 of an inch of urethane coating that's then painted with a flexible paint at the factory. And here's the thing. A total of 87,684 GTOs were ordered and built. However, of them, 2,108 customers went for the chrome front bumper, which this car does not have. With that said, this is the often seen, more often than not seen, urethane-covered, body-colored bumper at the front of the car. Beautiful design. And of course, a whole new hood for 1968 with double nostrils right here, replacing the single scoop in the middle. And these could be made functional. On the case of this one, we'll open the hood in a moment and see these are functional right here. It's not a Ram Air car, but we'll explore why and how when we pop the hood. But those are open. They allow air inside to feed the 400 cubic inch motor, cool, fresh, dense air from the outside world. Another detail that was new for 1968 was the availability of hideaway headlights. We see them on this. They were not standard. You paid extra for those, but they add a sinister look and make the car look wider and lower and meaner than it already is. Of course, this is a convertible, and in total, there were 87,684 GTOs built in 1968, this new body style right here, but of them only 9,980 were roofless convertibles like this, which of course has a stiffer frame, 100 pounds heavier than a coupe frame to make up for the loss of a roof and eliminate the cowl, shake, and flex. So anyway, let's pop the hood and see what we have underneath these functional scoops. Let's dig in and find out. And again, this is a urethane cover right here. It's not just painted steel, and pretty popular stuff. Hallelujah. Well, there it is. Now, before we get to the engine, on the underside of the hood, we see this structure right here, which looks like a duct, and indeed that's what it is. This is a fiberglass replica of something that was available from the factory in 1968 for the Ram Air engines, Ram Air 2. But again, this is a replica of the real thing, but those would have been stamped steel. This one does the job, and it does emit cool air at the air filter, which is the AC 14-inch open element air filter right here. And again, functional Ram Air on this one. It's been made functional, but again, it does the job, and it emulates the look of an actual Ram Air 2 400 car of 1968. Of course, the engine here is basically stock. Cast iron cylinder heads, the original Quadrajet 4-barrel still in place. And again, cast iron manifolds, nothing wrong with those. If you look at the manifolds themselves, they are cast iron, but you can see the runners are streamlined and are way more efficient than a station wagon style or a passenger car plebeian exhaust manifold. Of course, dual exhaust standard feature on all GTOs at this point in time. Also seen on this one here is front disc brakes with power boost. And of course, you could also get drums on these things all the way around. It's kind of crazy, but this one has the front disc brake option. Power booster up there on the firewall. No AC, which is fine by me. Simplicity is bliss. This one also has the heavy-duty radiator. It's a cross-flow radiator, which is new for 1968. A clutch fan right here, which it spins at higher RPMs, actually freewheels at high RPMs, but at lower speeds, it draws just enough air through the grill to keep the engine and the radiator nice and cool, like in a traffic jam at 500 RPM, something like that. Under 1,000 RPM, but at speed on the highway, the clutch fan decouples and doesn't have parasitic drag on the engine for another 10 or 15 horsepower. So all the details are quite nicely attended to on this car. Also, we see the wiring under the dash or under the hood, which goes to the hood-mounted tachometer, which was seen for its third model year in 1968. It is functional, and the red line is 8,000 RPM. However, 5,000 RPM is where that's the factory red line on these things, because again, the 400 was not a really high revving engine. It was more about torque and a great deal of it. So let's go inside and see what transmission we have. These were available with a 3-speed manual. Yes, believe it or not, you could get that, or a 4-speed, or what we see here, the 3-speed turbo hydromatic with something kind of interesting. The Hurst dual gate shifter. They call this the his-hers in those pre-women's lib days. Anyway, right here we have a quadrant for him and for her. And you can send the missus or whoever down the road with the car in drive, or for spirited driving, 1, 2, 3. if you were lined up next to a Roadrunner or something in the next lane, and this is the his/hers shifter right here, built by Hearst, or delivered to Pontiac by Hearst, but installed on the assembly line, if you check the right box. Now, of course, 1968, we had a lot of new things. We mentioned the hidden wipers. You can see them on the side of on the front of the dashboard, but the grab bar seen in 1964, 5, 6, and 7 was eliminated because the dash was deeply padded. I guess Pontiac didn't think that there was a need anymore for the grab bar on the passenger side right here, what would have been in 67. Of course, also always present, the GTO logos on doors to remind everybody inside that you're riding in the GTO, the great one. And of course, something also seen for the last time in 1968 were vent windows right here. 69 brought a one-piece side glass, but these are seen for their final time right here. I like these. If you're going down the road, you can open these up and get just enough air over your body to cool yourself. Bucket seats, of course, standard fare in the GTO. You could get a bench if you wanted, but most people went for the GTO with bucket seats. So a nice example, really, of a really desirable color here, sort of a copper. And here at the back, we see something that's a little bit out of place. A GTO Judge spoiler, nothing wrong with that, bolts right on. And we can see it here in effect. And of course, the GTO logo in steel. But getting back to the GTO logo, for 1968, Pontiac did something different. Whereas 67 and previous, the GTO logos on the quarter panels were made of steel, die-cast metal, I should say. They're decals in 1968 and 70, so kind of gives the car a more modern vibe with the supercar graphics coming into their own and really taking precedent. Of course, dual exhaust always, and these are the optional megaphone exhaust tips right here, and sway bar suspension front and rear. Great handling cars. And again, that's the story of the 1968 Pontiac GTO convertible. To learn more about this one here, go to the High Octane Classics website and check out the photo gallery.
What's up, everybody? This is Danny, High Octane Classics. Well, plug, we're at 143 Washington Street, Auburn, Massachusetts. We're in a 1968 convertible GTO. It's got a 400 his and hers turbo 400 automatic transmission. It is a lot of fun to be able to bang some gears in this thing. Really nice running car. It's not the fastest car in the world, but it's a really, really reliable, nice cruiser. This is definitely a car you take out and cruise the beach, have some fun. It's smooth. Everything works in it. Nice little downshift there. We're playing with the his and her shifter. The tack on the hood works perfectly. Let's knock it back and we'll just keep it in drive. It's got an upgraded Bluetooth stereo in it. It's got brand new Redline tires. They've gone through this car. I actually owned this car a few years back. Customer traded it in for a Mustang GT that he actually had when he was a kid, just like it. But as you can see, this thing is just smooth as can be. Nice and quiet in here. It's not crazy loud. It sounds good outside. The guys have just taken it through the shop and certified everything. It's all ready to go, turnkey. It's got great paint on it. We did add the wing and the tack at the customer's request when he first bought the car. Downshifts work, 4 barrels kick in. We'll take it over to the test track in a little bit. Have some fun. So smooth. It's got all of its original interior inside. All right. Oh, always someone that wants to come behind us. We have to take off quick here, Shane, so. She is fun. It rips right through the gears. Brakes are perfect, the car tracks nice and straight. We've even got auxiliary ports underneath for your phone. We've got a aftermarket instrument clutch. It's not even getting warm, it's a little cold out. You know, for a convertible where they're usually rattly and noisy, this thing is just goes over bumps beautiful. Downshifts perfectly. Wish it was a little bit warmer out, we could take the top down. Yeah, every one of our cars gets a full service where they inspect wheel bearings, ball joints, brake linings, brake lines, fuel lines, make sure that it doesn't have any excessive oil leakage. But the brakes are perfect on this, man. This is great. They get in alignment. This one got a brand new set of tires. So try to give you the most turnkey car as possible, where a lot of our competitors don't even have a service bay. We have 8 technicians cranking these things out full time. We don't really take any customer work in outside of what we sell. All right, we're gonna get on this thing a little bit, Shane. Ooh, this goes pretty good. A little 400 that good. We kept that in just regular HERS side on the shifting. So when we pull it up and over here, we can go down a gear and go into second. I obviously can't do first now, but this is his side, where you can just have fun grabbing gears. Or just simply put it right into drive. Coming back to the ranch.